Hello, Steve89. Well, I stumbled on something kind of disturbing on YouTube a little while ago, a couple of days ago actually. Monkey videos. Now, I mean, to give you a bit of my history, I'm like a animal person. I grew up, my dad was very much an animal person. We had, we leased land with horses. We had chickens and pigeons and rabbits and guinea pigs and cats and dogs in our house. When we were a kid, we had lots of pets. Sometimes on the property there'd be people would go shooting. There was lots and lots of acres, and people would be shooting possums and kangaroos, or sometimes they get hit by cars, and we'd find them when we went to the horses. So the mother would be killed, the babies would be in the pouches. We'd take them home and nurse them until they were big enough to be released back where we found them. We had like a sheep that was on the property, and my mum had to shear it because it became fly blown or whatever, because it couldn't take care of itself obviously. And it had a lamb, and when it unfortunately died, we took the lamb home and raised that until it was a sheep, and we could find someone who would take it as a sheep and keep it, which they really did. We went to the farm and they had sheep and they kept them as pets basically. So that's sort of where I come from with animals, but I don't have my own pets. I don't like sit around on YouTube watching cat videos or dog videos and stuff like that. And so I wasn't really looking for this stuff, but somehow I stumbled across this video of a monkey going through this really horrible situation, and then I discovered there's this whole cottage industry on YouTube of monkey videos, because this probably happened organically to start off with, but along with the cats and dog videos, there are people who had monkey videos and they thought the monkeys were cute and they put them on YouTube and they got a lot of views, hundreds of thousands of views. And from my understanding, and I'm trying not to judge people from third world countries and places, you know, where money's an issue, like Cambodia and areas of Vietnam, who apparently they have a lot of monkeys, and they don't really see them as pets. They call them tree rats, a lot of people, and they see them as vermin and disposable, and kind of like the way we look at rats and pigeons, although we also had pigeons when I was growing up, so I kind of like pigeons. I mean, you know, Bert had pigeons. I mean, pigeons are nice. I don't see them as flying rats like some people call them. But a lot of people from those countries see the monkeys as tree rats, basically. And once they found out that these videos on YouTube would be very popular and you can make a lot of money out of them, like we're talking hundreds of thousands of views, and channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, people started adopting these pets, basically. And some people, there seem to be a couple of different types of videos. One type is where they basically take the monkey, the tiny baby monkey, and they treat it like a doll and dress it up and make it do cute things and make it walk around and treat it like a little baby, and people watch the videos and ooh and ah and they think they're amazing. There are other videos where they're kind of documenting things that happen to monkeys, both fortunate and unfortunate. And there are other ones which can not be taken as anything other than monkey violence porn, basically, where you see horrible things happen to monkeys, and people watch these videos because they hate monkeys. And some of these channels are literally called for monkey haters and stuff like that. And people watch videos of monkeys being tortured and killed and dying in really unfortunate circumstances. And it's pretty disturbing to watch. The situation is suggested because, like, this video isn't going to contain any video of monkeys being tortured or anything happened to them. So if you've come here for that, you're not going to see it. And I'm not mentioning any names of any of the people or any of the channels, because what I've heard from one person, and actually a couple of people, is that the people who are trying to speak out about this, they're taking footage of videos of monkey abuse, making their own videos about them, and they're getting either copyright attacked, struck, or they're actually having their videos just banned by YouTube, even though they're using the same footage that other people are using and that has been monetized. and I mean, you can speculate about this, but it seems that those videos make a lot of money for the channels, but they also make a lot of money for YouTube, whereas the videos speaking out about them don't make as much money, and you know, could possibly cause viewers to be lost on the other channels. So it does seem, and I'm not suggesting anything, but it does seem that YouTube is possibly enabling these monkey abuse channels, and it's really disturbing. I have heard some of these channels have been demonetized, and some of the videos have been demonetized since in the last, I think, 6 months or so that I can see. People have been making a concerted effort to protest these channels and these videos. So maybe there's some progress being made. I'm really not sure, because I've only been looking at this for a couple of days, like 3 days, and it's just really disturbing, the videos. Like the ones where they treat the monkeys like babies, some of them look really harmless. Other ones, it looks pretty bad. Now, we Westerners, we treat our cats and our dogs like babies sometimes. We call them fur babies, we dress them up, but we know they're going to get old, and we keep them. We keep them as a member of the family because we love them, we have them as pets. That's the intention, to have them as a pet. Whereas a lot of the people who are doing these videos are just getting these monkeys for the videos, and once they're too old for the videos and they don't get the clicks, they don't get the attention, or they become more difficult to deal with as they get older, they get rid of them. And some of them do it fairly early on if they're not getting the clicks and the videos aren't successful because they're not cute, because basically the monkeys are not adjusting and they're suffering, and that's not what everyone's into, fortunately. Some people actually watch them because they think it's cute, and that's the really weird thing. You see these videos that are clearly monkeys being abused and in distress, and you have people writing, "Oh, look how cute that is! Oh, the mummy and the daddy," which is the owners, you know, the monkey, love it so much. Oh, this, oh, it's so nice. I love these videos. I'm like, what video are you watching? Because it's not what we're seeing in the videos. And then the other videos, like I said, it's more like, oh, poor monkey got stuck in this. Oh, poor little monkey fell on cement and died. You know, oh, poor little monkey separated from mother, only lives 3 days, watch his journey, that sort of thing. And what is being alleged, and quite possibly true, I don't know, I'm not making any accusations, which I'm not mentioning any names or any channels, but a lot of these people supposedly are poaching the babies. They're killing the parents to get the babies, who literally have umbilical cords and are just straight from the womb practically, because they're the cutest and easiest to deal with. Are doing all that just to put them on YouTube, and so they're taken away from their parents. They're not being socialized with other monkeys. They're not being raised properly. They're being treated like little dolls and babies, and then once they get too big, they just literally throw them back out on the street, take them to the temples, and just leave them there with all the other monkeys that are there for the tourists. And they don't know how to assimilate. They don't know how to deal with this situation. They don't know how to take care of themselves. They don't know how to interact with other monkeys. They don't understand how the troops, the hierarchies work and all this stuff. And they get attacked. They get torn apart. They get killed. And some people, they don't even try and release them properly. They will like just literally tie them up in bags and just dump them there. They would just dump them out. Or some people would just dump the bags. There was one video, and supposedly it was, they found the bag, and there was a monkey inside. Its hands were taped behind its back. It had a chain around its neck, and the chain was coming out of the bag and wrapped around the top of the bag to tie it up, and it couldn't get out. And supposedly they rescued it and let it out, and then just, you know, threw it away. And there they've got a rescue video. So a lot of these things, they're just setting the monkeys up to make videos. They'll put them in situations, allegedly, supposedly, or apparently it looks like, they're putting them in situations like I said, they'll take a baby that's straight from the mother and sick, and they'll say, oh, poor baby monkey struggling to survive, oh, poor baby monkey sick, oh, they'll bathe them and just do stuff over and over again, just anything to sort of create a video and to create a narrative and a drama. And one of the worst examples of this was one that appeared, I'm making a few assumptions here, it had an injury on its arm about here, and it also had a cut across its neck. And I assumed that it was caught in a trap and someone cut its throat to sort of put it out of its misery, but they didn't succeed in killing it. And somehow this guy ended up with it. Some people suggested he did that, other people suggested he found it. Or he said he found it, other people suggested he did it himself. I'm not saying either way. But instead of just letting it be and letting it go its course, because apparently there are a lot of monkeys and animals. You see pigeons with like one toe and no leg and that, because they've been injured. They survive, they get by. But this one, they took it to a vet. And a lot of these vets are accused of not being vets. And when you look at the treatments, they seem to have no idea what they're doing. When they're injecting the monkey, they're just injecting it randomly. When they're trying to take blood, they're taking it from the wrong angles and just injecting straight in and not... Just the way they do things, they don't seem professional at all. And I would assume if you're going to remove... Because basically this monkey's arm was dead. It was like blue or black and it was going to fall off. Instead of letting that happen, they removed the arm because, oh, monkey needs operation. Oh, you know, big drama, big operation. So they removed the arm. But instead of doing what just I would reason they would do, which is severing the arm well below the elbow, removing the bone and removing everything at the joint and sealing everything off and stitching everything up and then using that skin to sort of close over the wound, over the bone, so there's no protruding bone, and have a small basically wound that's sewn up so there's less chance of infection. Instead of doing this, they just hack it off halfway, like you would a tree branch, and it's just cut straight across like a flat edge, and it's left open, it's not sewn up, it's not closed up, and of course it gets infected. And then the next video, of course, oh, poor monkey, he's sick, he has to go back to the hospital, his wounds are infected, oh, look at us scraping the dead skin off, look at us trying to save the poor monkey. And you literally see this poor monkey with half an arm hacked off like a tree branch, like up behind its back because it's just pulling up that way. It's rotting, it's they're just pushing the pus out and picking the dead skin off. And this monkey is in agony. They're just randomly injecting it all over the place, and it's just probably gone insane with pain and confusion at this time. And they have like one of those little cones on it. They somehow managed to let it escape, and they found it again, and they brought it back, and they tried again to scrape the dead flesh off, and all these, you know, attempts to save it, and then it dies, and it's not a surprise. And they go through the whole drama of having a funeral and putting it in a box with flowers and burying it and all this, and all this seems to just be for the sake of the camera and for the sake of YouTube videos and the sake of viewers, and it's really disturbing. And you see these other videos, like some of it is things monkeys just do and being stupid, like just running around and getting stuck in things, and you sort of look at them and you think, you idiot, just go back out the way you came, like how are you stuck? But then there are other ones where it's clearly people are putting the monkeys in the situations. There are monkeys buried up to their chest in sand or dirt, and they're just stuck there, and they're just spinning around and going around in circles in the same way every time because they're stuck and they can't work out, they can't understand how to get out and what to do, and they're just panicking. And you see monkeys being chased around by owners because basically the monkeys are traumatized, they've been taken away from their parents, and they're reacting badly. They're not reacting like monkeys in the natural habitat with their parents would. And then the people are like, oh, the monkey's having a tantrum, we have to punish the monkey because it's not behaving. So you see these people hitting the monkeys and slapping the monkeys and throwing them around by their tail and just doing all sorts of horrible things to them. And of course the monkeys are becoming psychologically traumatized, and they're reacting, and some of them, I don't know if they're starved. The accusation is they're starved and drugged to keep them calm and quiet because they don't have the energy to do anything. You see them just lying flat on the ground with their faces in the ground. They're just out of it. They don't have normal reactions. They just lay there. They have no energy. They're skinny. They look sick. They're just like, you see like fear grimaces, and you see floating limb syndrome, which is where they chew on their own limbs and pull their hair out and all this sort of stuff. And it's just horrific. And like I said, some of the people are speaking out about this, and it does seem, because the countries have laws against this sort of stuff, and there does seem to be some sort of movement towards stopping people from capitalizing on these, taking home these animals and using them for YouTube videos. So there does seem to be some progress being made, but people don't seem to care about the monkeys. They obviously care about the money. It's a cottage industry that some people, there are a lot of the channels, and a lot of them are making a lot of money, and YouTube's making a lot of money out of it. So, I mean, the people saying, look, you know, don't watch these videos, contact the sponsors, tell them that, you know, basically ask them why you sponsoring these videos showing these monkeys being tortured and stuff, and it does seem to be working, but I haven't been able to research a lot of it and work out a lot of it so far, but it's pretty disturbing because they're also selling them. People are saying, hey, you can make a lot of money out of monkey videos, hey, buy monkeys off me, and of course they're poaching, or allegedly, supposedly poaching these monkeys, killing the mothers, stealing the monkeys, sending them to their babies. They don't know anything, they have no idea, they're absolutely defenseless. And they're literally doing unboxing videos where you get a box and there's just like a bunch of monkeys in it, and they're all covered in feces and starving, and they just literally, they just stick them in a box and send them. And I don't understand how the Post does this. Like, oh gee, the box is like rattling and rocking around, and there's basically animals inside making noise and stinking of feces, but we'll just send it through the mail. I don't understand that. But and some of them aren't surviving. Like there was one guy, he opened it up and the monkey's clearly dead, but he still used an eyedropper to try and feed it and was petting it, and I don't think he really believed it was going to come back to life. I think he just needed to make a video, and he stretched it out for about 10 minutes just of this dead monkey. And that's what's happening. I don't know what to think of this. It's made me really just disturbed, and I didn't want to go to sleep because I didn't want to have nightmares of monkeys being tortured. And like I said, I'm not a huge fan of monkeys, but just they are so expressive and human-like. To see them suffer, to see the grimaces on their faces, and the floating limb syndrome, and the panicking, and just the running and screeching, and you see these people chasing and torturing them and just trying to get a reaction out of them, just like dropping them on the ground, pushing them away, separating them, because a lot of them have separation anxiety and that, because they are so used to being held and taken care of, and I mean not taken care of, but always being handled by humans. When they're just left and abandoned, they freak out, just like the ones that are left at the temples. They don't know where to go, they don't know what to do. They just sit there and they just stare, they turn around in circles. They just sit there, they're just lost because they don't know what to do. They've never had to do anything and take care of themselves, so they don't know how to live, and they're just absolutely defenseless. And there are other accusations which are kind of disgusting too. Allegedly, people are feeding them on the roads so that they get hit by cars and motorbikes and things, so that, of course, now they've got a poor monkey gets hit by a car and is injured, and then they follow the monkey around, and they just follow it for all this time, just stumbling around and in pain, in agony, and they just follow it just to get a video. They don't help it, they don't interfere, they just watch it. They're just like, oh, we've got, you know, another video. And there was one that was really sad. It had been hit, it run over in the middle of the road, and it was lying there, and it had damage to its head and was bleeding from the face, and it was just sitting in the middle of the road, like its face slumped on the ground, like just half out of it, didn't really know where it was, and cars were going past. It was in the middle of the road. But eventually, you know, God bless them, some people actually stopped because they thought it was trying to get across the road, but it didn't even know where it was, so it was just laying there face first on the ground. Eventually, another monkey came and grabbed it and took it off the road and put it on the side of the road. But it just sat there turning around in circles, just absolutely having no idea what it was doing and what was happening to it. And, you know, it's one thing for people to capture something happening and then release a video and get attention for it, but it's another thing for them to create the situation in the first place and to exploit it and to just prolong it or just let it go on, and just like it's I just can't fathom it. Like the people who would bury a monkey halfway up to its stomach just to watch it struggle, who would stick its head through a fence or something that it can't get its head back out and just watch it writhing around and throwing itself around. There was one where its tail appeared to be stuck, but its tail was moving from side to side. Clearly it wasn't stuck because the tails go from thick to thin, but someone had clearly, in my opinion, from what I could see, I assume, had tied something to its tail and closed the door. So its tail was under a door and it couldn't get out, so it was running around and going backwards and forwards and scaling the wall and panicking because it couldn't get out of the door. And they're just sitting there filming it for like 5 or 10 minutes. It's just unbelievable that it's not just that people would do this because sometimes people are desperate. It's not just that people would enjoy watching it, because I know there are sadistic, sick people who enjoy watching, you know, animals suffer. It's just the fact that YouTube, sorry, I was talking about Netflix earlier with He-Man, but the fact that YouTube would allow these videos to be on the platform, to be monetized, and to make money and for people to profit it. Because if you stop monetizing these channels and not allow these people to make money, the channels will go away. They will stop taking the monkeys and making videos and stop torturing them, because they only do it for the money, allegedly, supposedly. So when you take away that motivation, it's not going to happen, and they won't be used like this. And it's just, I don't know, it's just really disturbing. I've talked for like 20 minutes about this. I'm just surprised that this is happening. I never could have conceived of it happening. I'm not, I guess when I think about it, I'm not really shocked, because these people are some of them are I'm making excuses for them, I guess. Some of them are desperate and they're just using whatever they can to get money because they're broke. But they don't need to do what they're doing. You can take a monkey, treat it like a little baby, dress it up, but still treat it like a human being, well, not a human being, like with respect, you know, as an animal that, you know, deserves, you know, respect and to be taken care of, whilst not being videoed, and then take care of it afterwards and keep it. You don't have to just abuse it for reaction and then dispose of it. Yeah, I mean, there's so many of them. I can't go through how many different videos. I've watched a whole bunch of them. And also videos that people have talked about, showing little clips of the ones that have been abused and that. And to see the opposite of that, where I've stumbled across a couple of genuine monkey channels where people just love monkeys. There's this one guy, and he just feeds monkeys. He'll just get a big bowl of bananas or food, and he'll just sit down and he'll just have a big giant bowl of food, and he'll just have 10, 20, 30, 40 monkeys just surrounding him. He's just handing out food to them. They're all just sitting around chilling and eating and socializing, and he just likes to feed monkeys and just be surrounded by monkeys. He likes monkeys, and he makes a lot of videos. He gets a lot of views, and nobody gets hurt. They're still in their basically natural habitat. He feeds them healthy food, unlike the people at the temples that feed them unhealthy food and they get really fat and sick. And it is possible to make a good channel. It is possible to make videos that are interesting, that people enjoy watching, without hurting and exploiting these animals. So YouTube really needs to decide what they're going to support and what they're not, and stop this from happening. And this has made me start to think about this, because I'd never really thought about animal cruelty before. But I'm going to do a video about PETA as well, because I sort of found out a bit about them and some of the issues that they have with animal testing and stuff, and that's a whole other video. So I'm going to do that as well. But yeah, I'm talking about this because YouTube is like therapy for me. When I get excited about something or stressed about something, I just do a video and talk about it. And this was really kind of traumatic. I was watching some of these videos, and it really bothered me. I was really sickened and upset about some of this, and I really just was like worried to go to sleep, so I don't have nightmares about monkeys being tortured, or being like in a monkey in the situations they're in, being tortured and stuff. And it's just really horrible. I just can't believe Netflix, I keep saying Netflix, can't believe YouTube is allowing this to happen, because they are so quick to ban so many things, but yet this gets by. I don't understand. I just hope the people who are fighting against this keep going, and that eventually this is going to end, this trend will end. People won't be able to make money out of it. They have no reason to do it. They'll leave the monkeys alone. I gotta go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. Have you seen these monkeys, these videos? You know, if you do, don't watch these videos. Don't give them the views, don't give them the motivation to do this. Don't support this. And if you're a sadist who really enjoys watching monkeys be tortured, like some of these people, the channels, they're literally like named, like, you know, monkey haters and stuff like that, and they're clearly there to torture animals and for people to enjoy it. You know, you really need some help. I'm going to go and try and, like, get this out of my head. Thanks. Just something I forgot to mention. I was looking through the video. because they take the monkeys out of their natural environment, often what they do is, instead of having them outside, they keep them inside, and of course they make messes. So they put them in nappies, and they leave them in nappies for days, possibly weeks at a time, and they get the worst nappy rash, and they just get the most horrific nappy rash, and they show that they're just, it's just horrible. And then they do videos about treating that. So everything, they create all these problems, and then they document treating them. And we've had just another recent monkey having its finger amputated. It had a necrotic finger. It's called Mr. Belly. He's one of the current sort of YouTube star monkeys. And yeah, they just cut it off with a razor blade. No anesthetic, no sedation, nothing. It's just horrific. And this is a monetized video that YouTube is putting advertising on, and these people are getting paid, and these advertisers are paying to do this. And there's a monkey abuse channel called Monkey Tales 2, TOO. I guess I'll link them. They're doing a lot of the videos, calling a lot of these people out and accusing them of abusing these monkeys and poaching them and all this sort of stuff, which of course I'm not alleging anyone of doing anything, but it's just disturbing. I just wanted to add this into the video while whilst relevant.